Hello, everybody. Hello. Promise you, I've been looking for somebody to go live since yesterday. I'm like, nobody's going live? Nobody's going live? I looked for DJ Witch Doctor. I looked for Sharon. Um, I was I was so desperate, I almost went over there with John Galt, but he was the only person I saw live. And I said, nope, I cannot and will not do it. Okay, because I wasn't in the mood to be calling anybody any names. You know what I mean? I I feel like some of these people already know what they're doing and they don't care because it's all about the dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill, y'all. And nothing wrong with making money. Um, I just, some of these people will sell their soul. They will literally sell their soul in half, right? They sold their integrity, their belief systems, um, and they figure, what does it matter to me? Because as long as I get paid, you know? Um, Now, is getting paid important in today's society? Yes. I mean, you need money to survive. Um, so we know that there will be some people who will sell their soul for money. If the devil came and offered them enough money, they'll sell their soul. Now, the problem with that is they then are soulless, right? And I don't think they understand the significance of what they're doing, right? It doesn't just affect them, but it's a generational thing, right? A generational thing. It can be broken. And I'm not going to talk about that because if I start talking about that, then we get into spirituality and things like that, right? And people are afraid of spirituality. They really don't know much about it. And then it becomes real frightening if I do start breaking it down. You know, if I start breaking it down, how your spirit, the thing that lives on and on and on, uh, transitions into um I'm not gonna talk about it. Let me get off that. Anyway, how is everybody doing? I just want y'all, as people in a society, we have, I feel, okay, I'm only talking about what I feel, that we have responsibilities to others and and responsibility to self. And remember, I identified or I defined what self means, right? Self isn't just you. Self isn't just me, myself, and I. Self is me and those I love and those who love me, right? Which is family, those that I care about, even community, right? Um, humanity, humanity, right? If you if you feel a certain way about people being killed for nonsense, then you have some humanity in you. If you care about people starving, you may not be starving, but you think, oh my God, like people are hungry. You have humanity. You at least you're able to be sympathetic. You have empathy. But today it seems like those things are considered a weakness, which somebody did say that. Now it's weird because people don't like that they're repeating his words after his situation, you know? And now Black people are falling for the trap that they put before us for money. You know, I can have a conversation about, we have conversation about everything over here. Anything that pops up, we talk about it. But I'm not gonna put a title to talk about someone I care nothing about. But it's money. It's money, right? They're gonna bring in most of us who is black people. We don't really care, but not just black people, as people. I didn't care when said person was alive. I didn't care about them, know them. I didn't care enough to get to know them. And therefore, after that, as tragic as it is, uh, it happens daily to people. And for those who had no problem using said weapons against their enemies, the idea that they had enemies is something fascinating to me, you know. But maybe I live in a bubble because I don't have any enemies. I may have people who dislike me, and even the people who dislike me, it's not really dislike, baby. It's kind of like a jealousy, right? What they're jealous of, I don't know. I don't care. It don't matter. It could be many things, right? They could be jealous that I speak my mind the way I do it, and they don't do it. Not saying that they can't do it, because they can do it if they wanted to do it, right? Um, I don't know why they would dislike me. I'm not affecting their lives in the negative or for the better. Hopefully, you could take some things that I say that you may disagree with, and just realize, okay, I just disagree with her. It don't mean I dislike her. It don't mean I like her neither, right? You don't have to like me. Dislike takes more energy to like. Did y'all know that? Like if I start talking about I don't I don't like that person, um, that means you took time to pay attention to them to find out something about them you don't like. Now, you usually I think that's why people get confused when I speak about certain things, because I'll be like, I don't fuck with that person, and then I don't treat them badly. If we on a panel, I'll say hi to them just like I say hi to other people, right? Um, because I don't hate them, I don't dislike them. I just like based on their talking points and shit like that. I don't fuck with them, right? I realize they either um sold their souls or trying to sell their souls. Some of these black men souls ain't worth they ain't worth shit. So that's all they got to do is give them give them shit a free space to speak, and they'll sell their soul just for that. Let me eat on some of this ice. Hold up. Anyway, I do have to sew, so I'm gonna put the link out. Um, I've been looking for. I'm sorry, y'all. I just put ice in my mouth. Okay. Mm. Okay. I've been looking for somebody where I can go up on their panel, participate. If they talking about something, I want to talk about why I sold. Right? People probably wonder why is she on the panel sewing. Well, I'm on the panel because I want to participate, and I'm sewing because that's what I need to be doing. But when I'm on my own channel, y'all notice I don't really do it much because I can't really talk the whole time while sewing. You know, uh, I don't just sew over here. I don't. It's not like some people who follow a pattern, word for word, step by step. I am a creator. You know what I mean, and therefore I may start off with a pattern that could be something that I do, but then I make adjustments the way I want to do it, or I sew it the way I know is better. You know what I mean? So therefore, it takes brain power, and so I design choice and all kinds of things. I'm thinking about. I'm gonna say this. Hubby might be listening though, because he should have gotten off work maybe about 2 minutes ago. But anyway, in case he's not listening, I was thinking about making him a um a jacket, right? Um, what they call those jackets? The puff jackets, but out of his shirts, out of his authentic Cowboys jerseys, right? Now, uh, hubby really he has the home, the away shirt. and he has the home shirt. He has some that's not authentic. I think his sister, bought him a couple of shirts that I've never really seen him wear. Maybe those are the ones I'll use, right? Because I don't want to mess with his authentic. Hubby and I have the very first sports jacket that was made, I think, early 90s. What they called, let me see. They were really popular. People was killing people for these jackets. In the, where mine at? Here, one of them in here. I think they're downstairs in the jacket closet. Okay. Damn, they are. Mine also. I forget what they were called. Damn, what was the jackets called, y'all? Before NFL, because now I think NFL have them, right? But it was by another company, and people was people would, how they would carjacking back then? They would jack you for your jackets, for your coats, because they cost so much. Now the coat they cost, and I ain't gonna lie, like when he bought, I was pregnant when he bought mine, so that means we bought them in. My son was born in '94, so we bought it in '93. I was pregnant. That's why mine is oversized, right? And he got a Cowboys one, and I had the same. And can't think of the name of them. But anyway, I don't even know how. So I'm thinking about turning one of his jerseys into, a puffer jacket because that's what's in now, right? Um, but I don't want to take something that he really liked in his current state and change it into something else. But he does have these. He has a couple. I guess I'll have to ask him, but asking him, then it wouldn't be a surprise. It's almost like, damn. And listen, I don't want him being mad at me because I don't, even though he may like it, if he may not want me to, anyway. If y'all have a jersey you would like to turn into a puffer jacket, okay? Or puffer vest, which means it wouldn't have sleeves of your sport team, email me, okay? Um, it'll be like one of a kind. It won't be many people walking around with it because it's gonna be custom, right? With your name on it, everything, with your patches on it. Um, it could be a sports team. It could be I could take a T-shirt and make it into a puffer jacket. You know, maybe something you went to an event and you bought a shirt and you wanted something special. Maybe you don't wear it in its current state, but you want it, you know, to revamp it into something you can wear today. Holler at your girl, okay? Anyway, um, let's get back on what I was talking about, which I forgot. Oh, I was talking about looking for other people pet nose. Oh, I was also talking about not liking people. So I don't have this thing, I don't have enemies that I know about, but if I do, God bless them. Okay. God have mercy on me. So karma is something that I believe in, and it does come back and get you and bite you. And then the thing about it is people who used to believe in things back in the day, you know, we don't believe in these things anymore, and therefore look at the state of our world, right? Look at the state, the hatred, the nonsensical, for no reason killings, the you know what I mean? And people like to say, well, we need to bring church back in. No, we need to bring respectability back in, pride, having pride, having pride in your family. It used to be a time where your name, your last name meant something. You was raised to know we're Harris's, we're Ferguson's, we're Paisley's, we're this, we're that. And we don't take no this. And when you walk out, you represent the whole family. And when you do that, when people have a sense of pride, even when they don't have no money, it's not about having money or not. You have pride that the people in that family are good citizens, they're good people. And when they had a black sheep, with a black sheep, that's the one person that stood out in a negative way to kind of tarnish the family's name. And they were the black sheep, right? The one who is just so different. And it wasn't just that they were different, but they just wouldn't even, they didn't care. They felt like they were individuals. They didn't care about the sake of others, the family name, the family image, this, that, about the family. They didn't care about the community. They just was, essentially, they called them insane. They used to put those people in institutions. Now we have people who purposely, I don't know why, like, man, it's sad because I realized that I end up reaching out to help insane people. And I wonder, like, when people ask me, why you like that person? Why you like this person? Why you like that person? And I really don't have a answer, right? Because just like I don't dislike people, I'm not too kindly and so easily to like people neither, right? Um, and what I mean by that, talking to people don't mean you like them. Dealing with people don't mean you like them, right? Just because, like, I could like somebody when I like somebody, even if they dislike me, I may like them, right? Something about them that I like. It may not be that I like them because I don't really know them, but it's something about them I like, right? Like, there's a lot of the women, the young women, and I look at them and be like, damn, like when I was that age, I wasn't that, I wasn't that, I didn't, how should I say it? Like, I was really the opposite of what I am now growing up. Like, when I was, a young adult, because I was trying to figure myself out. You gotta, trying to figure myself out, trying to figure out how to walk in the world, and still going by the steps of society, which is after graduation, you then get married, start your family. I was on track with that, right? That was no problem. But that doesn't mean that's what I wanted to do. I always think, why did I want to do that? Now, I know now I don't think that anymore because I'm family oriented. I always wanted a large family. I always wanted to be a mother. I'm so excited to be a grandmother, you know what I mean? And a great grandmother. And I wish I could be here to see the rest of my lineage, right? My children's of children's. You know what I mean? I would love to be able to watch that, you know. But not even just my children. Like, I'm the type who, when hubby said, okay, he wanted more kids, and then I decided, okay, I don't want to push no more out. I was willing to adopt. I told y'all I took kids in the house. I done damn near raised other people's children, but not really, right? Because when they was under my roof eating, I made sure they ate, made sure they could. They were well behaved, but they still had parents, and their parents was kind of not parents, you know. I wouldn't even say it was about age. There's a generation where it's not about that they were young. I was young when I became a parent. My generation were young parents, even though I wasn't very young. But I'm saying I was excited to be a parent. I just wanted to follow some steps, right? And the steps were, hey, you meet somebody and you marry, and then you have to start your family. And that's what I saw, and that's what I did. Okay. Now, I did see other people doing it differently. My young friends getting pregnant at 14, 15, 16. And then, but you could just look in a household and you'll see that, like, there was just a mother. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative, right? As if there was just a mother, but what I'm thinking is that there's one person trying to parent children. And if that said person worked, then I had friends when they came home, there was nobody there. If they really just went home inside by themselves. And it was easy for older people, the older boy, to talk her into letting him in the house behind her mother's back. And then you know what happens, when you're teenagers and and you're doing things you shouldn't be doing. So the way these men frame it, that a single mother destroyed the whatever, whatever. What I'm saying is, even these single fathers are realizing how hard it is. And if their children are really young, they haven't even gotten into it yet, right? Wait till them teenagers, and you got to be at work, and it's just you, and they got to come home to be alone and watch and see if anybody sneak in behind your back, or if one of the kids sneak out and be somewhere else they're not supposed to be. And when I say supposed to be, against your wishes. And how you gonna tell them they can't do something if you don't know what it is that they want to do, that they trying to do, that they thinking about doing? You know. So these men try to make parenting like it's just something so simple. It's difficult with two parents. And I was staying at home, or when I worked, y'all, hubby and I was on different shifts. My kids never walked into their house with nobody there. They never did that. Never. I don't. They ain't have no keys to be unlocking no doors to come home to themselves. That never ever happened. Even when hubby and I worked, we worked different shifts, right? Hubby, for the most part, the beginning of our marriage, he worked night shift. He would come home in the morning, you know, sometime in the morning. And when I say morning, he may get home about 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. When the kids was really young, one of us was always there. And then when they started daycare, um, let me see. My youngest was in daycare since he was really young, right? He was in daycare, um, doing the regular hours. That was very I was very fortunate because even if I wasn't working, he was in daycare, right? Being young and working, it gave me some me time. So I try to express to some people like, hey, you could get daycare. You know, I understand not having daycare for babies, but that's not even a reality. Parents need some me time. And even if that me time is just a few hours every day, to catch up on their sleep and things like that. And that's why it's best to have family, right? You have family that you trust, because it's not always best to have family. Like, we got to understand these creeps and creepos, keepbacks, or whatever, they could be right there in your fucking family. That's the reality. And the worst thing is, this has happened in my family, y'all. What I'm about to say, when when this person was when they were young, they was assaulted by somebody in the family, right? In their family. But that person went to jail and everything for that. But now this person has children, and that person is out of jail, and said person leaves the children with the same person who violated them when they was children. Why would you leave your child or children with the same person who abused you when you was a child, went to jail for it? You know who will do some shit like that? A dumb bitch, a dumb hoe, a dumb ass nigga, right? Uh, let's not say dumb. Yeah, they fucking dumb, dumber than motherfucking dumb. But they also irresponsible, sick, should be in jail themselves, all kinds of motherfucking shit. And ladies, these men I learned something yesterday. I learned two things yesterday that got me all in shambles, right? It's one with me. Okay, cool. I'll deal with that when time comes. But I was talking to a family member. Man. And I'm still kind of twisted behind that. Feel sick to my stomach right now. I felt sick then. And I'm I don't even know. I don't understand. I do not fucking understand. I don't fucking understand how this can happen. And I just don't. And we got a lot of these men who went through the same thing and they hiding it, you know. See, my cousins who I was raised with, we all are in our 50s now, right? Everybody's in their 50s. Um, my cousin, everybody who I'm talking about what I was raised with, we was kids growing up together, but we was raised in the same family, different household, different situations, right? So um some of the women who were divorced, they already had children when they got divorced, right? Um the men, the fathers who when they got divorced went to set up families with other fucking women, leaving the first children behind, leaving the first children behind, even though they wasn't that far away. It's not like the child was in one state and they was in another state. In fact, they was like right there, calling distance and all that. But these motherfucking whack ass fucking daddies wasn't doing not even the minimum. There was niggas in jail doing more than some of these motherfuckers who wasn't in jail. Because at least a nigga in jail, he probably possibly begging for somebody to contact and talk to. So he'll make a phone call. But these niggas who were just out and about, they was abusive. That's why they ended up divorced. He was beating my aunt. But the thing is, this was my fucking uncle. He was my uncle forever and again, right? Because I think I told y'all I had there was brothers in there was brothers marrying sisters and sisters marrying brothers. And there go, here we go. With this motherfucker was gonna be my uncle, whether he married my aunt or not, because he was my daddy's brother who married my mom's sister. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, and I just when I was young, I remember shit when I was young that was so warped, it didn't even happen to me. I was there, and as I was growing up, I'm looking at him come around every once in a while, and people, my dad hugging him and shit. Okay, I never hugged because remember I know his children. Like even if, you know what I mean, like I'm always there. I'm seeing that they don't have their dad. Like I'm always having my dad. Why in the fuck don't my cousins over here have their dad? This nigga look like he doing good in life. And there go my auntie with his children struggling. These niggas want us to struggle. And let me tell you what struggling does. So you divorce her, but you had everything, right? Because he was military. He lost, his leg while in the military. He actually served in two departments. Back then, he went from one to another, and he lost his leg, right? So he getting benefits on top of benefits. That's why they was able to get the house and all kinds of shit, horses, like all kinds of shit they was getting, right? So we got to understand the military created uh, a middle class once they started allowing Black people to participate in the GI Bill. They didn't always, like, just because a Black person served don't mean they got the benefits when they got out. My cousin told me something yesterday that was not shocking, but kind of was shocking. He told me seven things, right? Seven things. How he go to other countries and he's even though he go to some places where they look at him because he's a black man and they don't see a lot of black people. He said, but even there they might want to touch on him, poke on him, you know, and touch the hair and things, you know, as curiosity and shit like that, right? And he says the only place where he's disrespected till today is when he come to America, when he come back home. He's gone all over the place, all over Europe, Africa, all over the place. He's on them ships that import and export shit, right? So that's his job. He's a seaman or something like that. I think that's what he called it. I'm not sure. But anyway, he's traveling all over the place with products of all kinds of products, right? On them ships. And he says when he go to other countries, even when in the midst of war, even he's been in other countries while we're warring with them and still get treated better there. And soon as he get back to the US, he get pulled over by the cops, pointing guns at him. They tried to deport him. Look, they tried to deport him about a month or 2 months ago now. I was like, what? He had gotten back off the ship in North Carolina. I think he said North Carolina. Yeah. No, I think he said North Carolina or Virginia. That's where the ship docked. So he was catching a flight to go back to Louisiana, right? So he could go be with his family. And at the airport, these motherfuckers pulled him to the side to try to deport him. They asked him for his information. He'd be like, here go my information. They'd be like, you're not in our system. You're not in the US system. And he's like, but hey, here's my, what do you call it? A twerk card, a twerk card or something like that. He'd be like, here go this. They were like, nah. They held him in the jail at the airport for hours, and trying to deport his ass. I was like, wait a he tried he calling his wife to see if a birth certificate would work, but they didn't care about that. See, I want y'all to understand. It don't matter what document you have, because when they claim they looking through their system and they can't find you, then they'll claim that your document is fake. People telling people, oh, just walk around with your green card. The motherfuckers not caring about that. They'll say it's fake. You you got a driver license, they'll say it's fake. Real ID, they'll say it's fake. If they claim they pulled you up and they don't see you. And they could just be claiming that motherfucker shit. They could be misspelling it. They could be doing all kinds of shit. So how in the hell do we have a twerk card? All this federal shit that he had to do, but he not in their system. He he's still fighting that. They still contacting him, wanting to put him on a thing around his ankles and shit. And he's on the ship again right now. So I say, yeah, the motherfucker just trying to deport any and everybody. Okay. And if you look, and I jokingly told him he looked Mexican. Told him he lucky he didn't go to end up in El Salvador. Oh Lord. Anyway, my cousin informed me of something. I always wondered, that he was the wild kid. He was and when I say wild kid, I'm like, he would jump off of the roof of the house playing different evil Knievel and all kinds of shit that some of y'all never heard of, that I can't even remember a lot of it, right? Evil Knievel. I remember playing like I was Wonder Woman and I would twirl and shit like that, and end up being super. Is that Wonder Woman? Yeah, Wonder Woman. And she twirl, she had the lasso on side of her. I don't. Anyway, he was wild, and me and was talking. We was talking, bringing up. This is the family. His sister's the one when we got in that car. right? And a few other things. So we was talking. I asked him, did she ever tell that story on how we got in that car? But then he went on to tell me about that family. Remember I told y'all the guy who had me and my cousin get in the car, and now he's heading to Baton Rouge. But see, I mentioned that story to him, and he was like, "Oh, yeah." And he mentioned the guy, and he told me that that man who was a boy at the time raped him when he was a boy, doing that tickling and running, right? Playing like they boys, wrestling and shit, right? Remember? Um, so I'm telling this story only so we can understand the mentality of those who harm our children. They don't look like they harming our children. And our children may not know they're even being harmed, or they think it's their fault, or they think they can't tell because they're gonna be the ones that get in trouble. So like me and my cousin, we didn't tell because we thought we was gonna get in trouble. We never thought that this grown up is the one who trying to kidnap us. Nah, we thought, oh my God, we gonna get in trouble. We should have never gotten that car. And we gonna get in trouble. So we kept shh. We didn't tell nobody. Here it is, my cousin dealing with that same family. Remember, I told you it was somebody, a friend of the family, right? The friend of the family through the children. Okay. He tells me the same guy, he didn't know our story, and now he's telling me his story. The same guy, he's a little older, so he'll act like he could be the big brother. Now, my aunt don't have no father, right? My uncle ain't nowhere around. He don't deal with him. My aunt had two daughters and one son, and the son was the youngest. So when I went by there, of course, we, the girls, we hanging together. And then there's my cousin, the boy. He was the baby boy, but he also was the boy. So he's doing other things than we as the girls are doing. He's not interested in what we doing. We doing hair, right? And shit like that. Um, we talking about, you know, my cousins, the ones who taught me about using tampons and shit like that. Not tampons, yeah, tampons. They showed it to me in the class. That shit was crazy, man. I was like, what? Anyway, anyway, but there's this their brother, right? Who's 2 years younger. He's my brother's age, so he's just 2 years younger than me, but he's still a boy amongst girls. Hardly no boy cousins will be over there. So he's actually just by himself, really. And I didn't know he felt lonely, but he explains this. Anyway, uh, all it took for an older boy to come around and be around and look like he's, you know, um, taking the boy and helping him throw the football and basketball, and things like that. Uh, Running with him, playing with him, you know what I'm saying? Right? So my aunt and I guess nobody thought none of it, none of us, right? We thinking, oh, is he a little older? Because back then, he didn't look like the stranger with the trench coat and shit. And he's throwing the balls and doing things like that, inviting him over. But anyway, my cousin goes to tell me that um he was running from him, laughing and giggling and shit. And then he caught him, right? Like they were playing football, tackle football. And then he tackled him, pulled down his pants, and raped him. And and what? I'm like, wow, this dude was, you know what I mean? Like he was what I'm saying, he was old enough to drive when I was only like 9 years old. And all it took is for you to know their mother, for now the family to just be able to have access to us. tickling us, running after us. It look like we playing because we kids. We are kids. We don't know no better. Do you not understand? It pisses me off when people don't understand children. When you don't understand children, children don't know about, a person being what they can do. They don't. They shouldn't even know anything about harm. The only thing they know is they could get in trouble, maybe a spanking, punishment from their parents, teachers, and shit like that. So when they look at others, I've seen where where a kid get a bad vibe or something. I don't know where they but the parents say, "Oh, it's okay. That's your uncle, him," right? Because you realize that this your family, and you introducing your family to your children. You don't know why the children get a bad vibe. Some kids run up to strangers and hug them, right? And then they got some people they don't want to. It's almost like they do have a sense of you know um, danger when they sense it for some reason. But we as the adults, we persuade them away from that. I'm telling them, "Oh, that's okay. He's okay. Give him a handshake. It's okay. Margaret, that's your auntie. I know you don't know her, but it's okay." And you kind of, they let down their guard because you done made them, right? You done made them, and now, bam, they don't even know how to sense danger anymore because we have taken that away from them, right? I've actually seen kids not want to go near people, and if I see it, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make them. If my grandson don't want to give you a hug, he ain't give you no hug. If he run up to you to give you a hug, you're like, "Oh, that's so cute," and then I tell him, "Back up. You don't know them people." You know what I mean? Like I tell him, give people their space. You know. So listen, we harming children is something that's been going on for a very long time. And some of these sick motherfuckers make it seem like that's not harm because that's what they used to do. And what's the problem with it? Yeah, that's what they used to do. Little boys, men used to be with little boys. When they wanted to make you a man, oh, they made you a man. But today, though, when you think about that bullshit, your mind goes to some other bullshit. Ah, nah. Why y'all gotta talk about that? Oh, it's okay to talk about it when it's little girls, though. You want it to be acceptable when it's little girls. A little girl who don't know better, neither. Who could be 1 minute getting tickled and the next minute something's going on and she don't even know what's going on. She don't even know. It can happen to her and she not know it. And the men will be like, "How could that? No, that can't be true." What you mean she don't know it? If you don't know what something is, then you don't know what something is, right? If you speak Spanish to me, you say a word that I don't know, never heard, or anything, then I don't even know you speak Spanish. All I know is I don't know what's going on right now. I don't understand you. You know what I mean? And so, child could be sitting in somebody's lap, and something could be happening, and she don't even know that it's something bad, something good, something that shouldn't be happening, right? Because if children didn't know, they would tell. Nobody would be telling them to keep it a secret. The smart ones, though, they don't tell the kids to keep it a secret. The smart ones today, because if you tell them it's a secret, they might come and say, "I got a secret." And then they talk about, but the real smart ones, the slick ones, they don't, they act like nothing happened. That lap ride was just a part of the ride. That's just what happens when you sit in somebody's lap. That's called having fun on the lap. Oh, when I catch you doing tackle and I end up, slipping some fingers in or whatever in, that's just called that some young girls who thought it was exercising. Oh, no, that's not sex, that's exercising. Kids, boys and girls. Like I had to stop my cousin from talking. I'm so, like I tried not to, right? Because I was thinking, oh my God, like he's triggering this in me, right? And I'm mad and pissed off, but I don't want to stop him because he's sharing. And then I just had to say, wait a minute, baby. I'm sorry. I'm triggered right now, and we got to back up. And I explained to him that it's nothing you did, he did. I had questions, but I didn't want to ask questions because I don't want to really like I don't want to say I don't want to know. I'm just like, oh my God, that's like if my aunt was living, I would ask her questions. She said my aunt apologized to him before she passed away. Even though she didn't do anything, that's the problem. She didn't do anything because there was turmoil on in that house, and nobody knew it. They knew when he would beat her. But so my cousin was telling me, I think I told y'all a story where I went to their house. So when my aunt met this man, you know, um, he comes to her like, yeah, I'm gonna be the dad. I'm gonna be the stepdad. In fact, y'all can move in with me. You ain't got to worry about paying rent no more. I own my home. I got enough room. You're gonna be in the house. You work, but I work too, and we're gonna do this like a family. And that's what happened when this man came in. It was like too good to be true. It's almost like, oh, I'm gonna be a family. We're gonna be a family. He met the kids and everything. It was like a family, right? Like a fucking family. And they move in to his house. And she's working because she was a nurse. She was a nurse. He working where in the fuck he work, I don't know. See, somebody need to go to hell where I know he is, beat the fuck out of him, send him up to heaven just to kick his ass back down to hell again. And it needs to be repeated over and over again. Right when he think he about to get some bliss, they beat his ass and send him back to hell. Because the things I've learned, baby, right? Um, oh my God. See, and so when I'm talking to my cousin, like he don't talk to his sisters, right? Um, so when they was living with this man, he wrecked that fucking family. And that still affects today. That nigga is dead and gone. My aunt is dead and gone. My uncle's dead and gone. And it's still the shit that man did is still vibing today. And I told my cousin, and it's gonna not only it's affecting y'all today, and it's gonna affect y'all forever, our family forever, unless somebody decide that they got to stand up and be the bigger person. And let me explain. So, um, this man, I think I told y'all a story. I'm thinking I might be 11, 12. I wasn't in high school yet. So but I was a teenager. And this was my first time after they moved from where they used to live with you know, with, with my auntie just living there with her children to her now moving in this house with this man, right? His name was Alfred. Okay, I'm gonna say his name because I plus that nigga name. Okay. Anyway, I told y'all a story while that time when I was over there, I was there for to spend, maybe the weekend. It could have been the whole week. It could have been the summer. I don't know, right? But I remember this because I was in bed with my cousin, right? Because now they got his house is bigger. They got it wasn't a shotgun house; it was a regular house, and um, and he had enough rooms where everybody had their own room. Not everybody. Yeah, my older cousin, I think she was she living there. No, my other cousin wasn't living there. So she already had a son, and she wasn't living there. So it was now my cousin, uh, the second girl, who was like a year older than me, or 2 years older than me, and then my cousin, the boy, who is like 2 years younger than me. Okay. Anyway, I go and stay there. So she had her own room, right? I think it was a 3 bedroom house. So my cousin, the boy, had his own room. My cousin, the girl, had her own room, and the couple, my uncle, my I ain't never call that nigga my uncle. My aunt and her boyfriend had their own room. Okay, y'all envision it. Okay, good. Anyway, so I'm in the room with my girl cousin, sleep. We laying in there, we in there sleep. And all of a sudden, this tall ass nigga come in. He comes in, he walks on her side of the bed and fucking kiss her, tongue kiss her. And when I said, like, I ain't never seen no shit like that. Like when I'm, you know what I mean? He tongue kissing her and she kissing him back. But what he had done was he puffed on some marijuana, right? And inhaled it, I guess. And then when he kissed her, he blew it in her mouth. Okay. Um, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, and so she asked me, did I want some? Oh no. I was like, no, I'm good. Now I I never that never happened in my life. My dad never would have done no shit like that. None of my uncles came in and did no shit like that to me. So I didn't, I'm still young, but I'm a teenager, right? And I just felt had a bad vibe. That's why I never took a liking to that man. Ever. But at that, and she was with it. She was accepting of it. I think I told y'all that story. I also told you, I think during that same time it was. Um, her and my aunt was arguing back and forth. Like they looked like they was a like tension between them that I never seen ever. Now, mind you, we getting older, but I never seen that tension like that, right? And I remember them yelling, she yelling at my cousin about something. I forgot what it was. And then my aunt said something about I think something about her period, like it was on and it wouldn't go off. And my aunt screamed out, that's what you get taking something too big for you. Now, I was young, so I didn't understand what she was saying. But apparently, now as an adult, when I got older, I realized my aunt either knew for a fact that they was having sex. Because I didn't even know that, right? I didn't even know that. Um, but she said that to her. And I didn't, I'm young, so I'm still not understanding, but I'll never forget it because I never saw my aunt even yell at my cousin that way ever before. Y'all hear me? So then I'm talking to my cousin, the male cousin. We going to today, right? And he tells me, I remember him moving in with my grandmother down the street from me. And he did go to school with us for a little while. But I don't think anybody in the family knew why for real. But that's when that man stabbed my cousin in the eye. I remember him having a patch on his eye, but like if my dad had known any of this shit that I know now, that that man Alfred would have died a long time ago. Like the men in my family would have murdered him. I'm not even joking, and it's not prideful. I'm not being prideful. I'm just saying he would have been murdered. But we women, for some reason, we protect these motherfuckers. Now listen, Because I know damn well that my Uncle Daniel, my Uncle Sanders, my daddy, my cousin McGee, I could go on and on and on. How them men would have made sure that nigga would have never been found in a bayou floating somewhere. Okay? I know that to be a fact. I'm just saying. What I was saying too goddamn much. But I'm not understanding. I guess you kind of do fear that your people might kill somebody and they may end up in jail, but I don't understand why you stay with them. So I, my cousin goes on and says what happened to him, how Alfred had other men coming over there to mess with him. Alfred hated him. Like Alfred would kick him out the house as soon as my aunt went to work, and he would be outside, whether it's raining, too hot, cold, or nothing. He wouldn't let him back in until right before my aunt got off work. Yo, when he was a boy. Now, if I'm a teen, he's a teen. He's just a younger teen. So if I'm 13, then he's 11, some shit like that. That's what he. And then I asked him, like, did you tell your mom? And he said Alfred would come up with a story and make it seem like he left the house and didn't get back. But Alfred would kick him out, and he would just have to be around until it was close to his mom to get home. Right? And but anyway, he ended up stabbing my cousin in the eye with a hammer. And that's when my aunt sent him to stay with my grandmother as if it was his fault. But I don't think anybody, like, I think the family, when I heard why he stayed, that he got in a fight with Alfred, you know, and they made it out like he was a disturbed child doing disturbing shit and wouldn't follow rules. But the real reality of it was that this man was controlling the whole narrative of everything. And so when he told me what Alfred had done him and a friend, Alfred friend and shit like that, I told him the story about what happened when I was in the room with his sister, right? And Alfred came in the middle of the night. And you know what he told me? He said, oh, no, but she wanted that. He said she wanted that. She that's what she wanted. They was dealing with each other. And I had to stop it. I said, wait a minute. I said, so he was controlling the narrative and lying on you as a kid. I said, you do understand she was a kid too? He was like, yeah, but she would call him daddy. I said, yeah, it's called grooming. He said, yeah, but I would see her hugging him and always in his face. I said, yeah, it's called grooming. I said, he treated her a certain way. So she would, she thinking that's what daddies do. He treating her good. He giving her specialties. He got the mom and the daughter arguing with each other by lying to each of them so he could be the savior on this end with the daughter by saying, I got you. I'm going to talk to your mom about it. And when he was the mom, he's like, I got you. I'm going to talk to your daughter about it. But he's the one who got everybody at each other's throat. He's beating up on the son and doing things to her and telling the mom it's the son doing these things. Right? So even today, I'm like, hey, you got to understand. He was a grown man. Your sister was like 14, 15 years old. This man comes in and he's like, I'm gonna be your dad. That's why she called him dad. Alfred is my dad. I love it. Because Alfred is this man who now lives with her and he's teaching her things tenderly. what she think is love. She thinks it's like she ain't been with no boys yet in that way. But here he go doing this and treating her well, buying her shit. Now the mom and the daughter fighting over him, his affection, and he's just there. Oh, she good. Oh, it's her. He's causing the conflict in the family, and the nigga is dead and gone, and now the family is split up behind some shit that happened when they was kids, and the lack of understanding. Remember, so um there's a lack of understanding, and it could be due to something that happened to a person when they was a child. And some of these children, they go crazy. Their whole sense of self changes. The world around them changes. Or, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm telling him, hey, I know you see it from your point of view, but you gotta actually see it from your point of view. You gotta see that she was only doing what an adult told her to do, and the way he manipulated her is where she wanted to do it. She liked the acceptance, she liked the attention, she liked, that he was giving her things and they was safer where they are. You know what I mean? And she didn't know any better. I said he treated you differently because you's a boy, right? You a boy and he's doing things to you. He can't make it seem lovingly, right? He make it seem like this is what men do. You're gonna be strong. So I'm gonna tackle you and I'm gonna, do what this is, or I'm gonna hit you and we're gonna fight and we're gonna fight. Because eventually one day you're gonna get big enough to beat his ass. And and I think he tried to kill him. I think my cousin, my aunt, she jumped out of a moving car. Now I do remember my mom telling me because she was all bruised up and shit. And and I asked him, did that really happen? Did he beat her that way or did and he said, yeah, she jumped out of a moving car. Out of a fucking moving car, she jumped out. And I think that was like that was her last result. So whatever he had done made her so mad she jumped out of the moving car. Then she ended up leaving and getting her own place and everything. But let me tell you what these men want us to do. So I remember when she left my uncle, he had the house and everything. She had the kids. She had to hide. The family was hiding her, helping her hide because he used to beat her. It was legal to beat her. And because she was still married to him, he could literally find out where she is and drag her ass back home and beat her. And the cops wouldn't do nothing about it. This was in the goddamn 70s. Okay. Um, by the 80s, she had got her own place because he finally moved on. He ended up losing everything. See, the thing is, these men, they claim they got this. I already have my house. Well, your house not really yours if it ain't paid for. And if she living there working and helping with the bills, then it's not just your house no more. It's your house. It's your house. These men be like, I already have my house already in my name. She moves in and oh fuck the hell I just do. God damn. Something stuck the hell out of me. Sorry about that. God damn. It was on my zipper or something. Whoa. God, like a staple. Oh man. Anyway, let me get oh Oh man, these people keep calling me. He was sitting in the voicemail. I'll call them later. They want to set up an appointment. Damn, that's just me, y'all. It's like a staple right in the zipper. I could see it. Why is that there? That's crazy. Anyway, um, yeah, these men judge women, little girls, and they don't even know the situations. They talk about it's the mother, the mothers. And yes, the single mothers who trying to move on and she could end up with a creeper. But they blame the women, but they won't blame the creeper. Right? These women shouldn't be bringing men around their children. They shouldn't. Because they want to control us so much, they want us to be alone while they go and get another woman. Now, think about this. They go get another woman who has children already. Wait a minute, sir. Didn't you say women shouldn't be bringing these men around their children? But one of them brought you around their children? Oh, that's different. Wait, what? Y'all say women should be ran through while y'all promote men running through women? Oh, that's different. What? Oh, y'all want to blame the woman for something a man did instead of teaching men that this is violence is not what it should be? Messing with children, you should not be. You should be able to control yourself as a man, even if the daughter is pretty, right? And she's starting to uh become a woman based on her body shape. Shouldn't you know how to control yourself? Old man of thee. No, need that's my phone telling me I have an appointment for tomorrow. Okay, cool. Thank you. I don't know how to change that shit. I don't know how to change that shit right there. Anyway, I don't understand it. Like the ignorance that goes on. See, all it takes is a man to understand, and then they call those men simps, right? Or any man who realizes, look, the fault doesn't just lie here. Now, let me tell you, my aunt has a lot of fault because she, once she realized what's going on, she should have like realized when it's apparently she knew they was having sex. But remember, she said to my cousin, that's what you get for taking something that's too big for you. Instead of her whipping his ass and moving her family up out of that fucking house. She didn't even have to whip his ass. Pack up that shit and go. It don't matter what he said. What he gonna say? What he gonna say? She came on to me. The fuck is you talking about, grown ass man, head of the household? You logical motherfucker, the one with all the answers, the one who gonna come up with all the right solutions. You want to direct, but all it takes is for one of your stepdaughters to start butting, getting her breasts and hips in. That's all it takes for you to be knocked off your motherfucking square. That's all it takes is some woman to come around and smile at you and let her know she's available if you want it for you to go. And you, the head of the household, you the logical one. There's a lot of young boys, y'all, that's been treated just like little girls. They're not talking about it. They're not talking about it. I know they're not talking, and I don't push it on them, right? But we should be talking about it. We should be talking about it. So these men can understand that the violence that happens to little girls It's happening to little boys as well, but they want to blame the mother for this, that, and the third. You want to blame the mother for shit that she may not even know nothing about, right? Because something could have happened and the little boys don't speak on it. Most of them don't never speak on it ever. And they angry at the world. They confused. They don't know if they're gay or not. They trying to fight through that. So imagine a little boy who been hurt, harmed when he was little. And the goddamn the way our society deems being gay or confused or this or that or that or that, right? Now these young people may harm themselves, and they do. Y'all hear it all the time when they'll say a man can't be bi. Isn't that what they say? He can't be bisexual. He just gay. And that narrative, those talking points are very destructive to young people because y'all also say if he ever touched a D before, then he's gay. So now someone who may have been forced, he now is confused on whether he's gay or not. And he may self-harm. He may not only self-harm, you got to remember what self mean, right? Remember what I said? Self doesn't just mean you. It's you, your family, the ones who love you, the ones who, and your community, the ones who live around you. Our, and so when we try to change the narrative with positivity, so people can not feel like something is wrong with them, where they could go and just go and speak about it. That's why in our society today, I hear people say, yeah, they tricking our kids. A lot of these kids are saying they bisexual, but they too young to know. Yes, think about it. They too young to know, but they can talk about it. They can open up and figure it out when they're not in secret, and then they'll figure it out. How do you know if you heterosexual, bisexual, gay, or whatever if you ain't never even had sex with anybody at all? That is what they ask, and that is a valid question. And so, why do they have to be any one of them as if they playing? What's the name of that movie? Divergent. When they had to walk up there and claim what they are. Society just sitting there in the chairs, waiting to see which one they're going to claim. Hey, I'm heterosexual. And then you go over there to the heterosexual side. And then, as soon as they turn 18, that's what they did. And we acting like that's what we do. Y'all drop that damn tack on the floor. Hey, Lee, come home. Let me see what it says. It says leak, and it tells you what class you're in. They say you a car rider. You don't catch a bus, huh? How you been? Good. I miss my baby. Give me a hug. Give me a kiss on the cheek right there. I love you. You had a good day today? Yeah. 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 You did good in school? Yeah. Yeah. You want to hear this? It's your heartbeat, huh? Yeah. Good job. Do you want to hear Spunky sound? Spunky sound. No, Mama busy right now, but um, you're gonna be here for a little bit, and I'm gonna take some time with you, okay? Okay. But you need the iPad? No, I got. You got your phone? Oh, okay. Did you eat something? Sure, I did. You did? When you ate? I ate meatballs. You ate meatballs? That was for lunch? Yeah. Well, are you hungry? You sure? Okay, close my door. Tell your daddy if you're hungry, okay? I think he might be down there feed you. Sorry about that. Grandson just came home. I dropped that staple on the floor and I'm gonna step on it. I know. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to find it. Okay, anyway, forgot what I was talking about. My grandson, he make me feel so. When I see my grandson, y'all, I I don't know. Everything about me changes. Okay. It's like I'm excited, I'm happy, and I want more. I want more. But if I don't get any more, he's enough. And I'm never gonna tell him he's not enough. He's enough. He's perfect the way he is, however he is. And if he ends up being, when he's 18 and have to go up there and identify as something, first of all, he ain't got to do that shit for nobody. He ain't got to identify nothing to nobody. That's something he do if he want to do. And people be like, oh, well, you need to keep that a secret. It's your private business. Now, what in the hell is my business and I could put it out if I want. I could be silent about it if I want. I could put it on display if I want. I could do what the fuck I want. And if I could do what the fuck I want, everybody get the right to do what they want. As long as they're not harming others or self, right? Motherfuckers talking about, well, you could be gay in your house. But we as heterosexuals can be out hugging each other. I could be in the park kissing. But anyway, some people even against that. Get a room. Yeah, get a room if we was like actually sexing on each other. But if hubby tapped me on the butt, you know, as his little gesture of he horny, because that's what he usually do that. Okay. Or he let me know I'm beautiful and shit like that. But listen, I done got off track. I'm so that conversation yesterday, after information that I learned about my health, right? Did I get that? Yeah, yesterday I thought everything was good. I told hubby, look, hey, I went and got the test. I'm gonna go to so I made my appointment so they can get the results. And then they're gonna call me and I'm gonna say, yeah, give me them hormones, give me them hormones, these hot flashes and my mood swings are getting to me. Please, please. And I told him I was excited. I said, babe, yeah, I'm gonna get my medicine. I said, I got my appointment today. And he looked at me. And then right before my fucking appointment, right before the appointment, right? Right before it was a virtual appointment, I get a phone call from the cancer center. I get it. I'm like, right, fucking appointment. Right before. I was excited that I'm gonna have this appointment. I know fuck. As soon as I saw the caller ID, I was like, oh damn. They called me and they informed me that I gotta come back in and get more tests. Because they see something. Now, I know they saw something because I could see it. I was like, but I saw it before. They keep acting like it wasn't nothing. I saw it because now they put the screen up and it was right there. It was right there. And I'm only telling y'all this because I want the ladies to understand something. Remember when I told y'all I was allergic to deodorant? Because I would put the deodorant on and I felt the lump under my arm. Remember I told y'all? And I said I must be getting allergic to deodorant. Right? I'm like, I must be getting allergic to deodorant. Well, that was a lump. They thought it was like oil because of the deodorant. I thought it was remember I told you I even put baking soda and it burned me. Well, it wasn't it wasn't a boil. It was a lump. And it was right under my armpit. Okay. So when y'all test, and maybe the testing changed through the years, I don't know, because no doctor have done a breast test on me in a very long time. I do my own test, I be in the bathroom, in the shower with hubby, and I do my own test. And this this ended up being right under my armpit. And it's not there now. It moved. It moved. And now it's in my breast. So so ooh, I think I was more disappointed that I can't get the hormones. I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna have to suffer through the and then I realized, okay, um, damn. I hyped up hubby up. I'm like, yeah, we gonna be back on, baby. I'm gonna get back into my freaking mood, and I'm gonna make it up to you, you know. And when I got that car, I was like, oh shit. And so I got to go through a lot of testing, and then the worst thing is the wait because the appointment not till the 30th, which means but that's like 2 weeks. I forgot to call this morning. I'm like, hey, anybody cancel? I'm gonna call them tomorrow. Anybody cancel? Can I come in today? Anybody cancel? I'm gonna call every morning to see if anybody cancel, see if I can get in soon. Okay, because it's too much. It's too much. And I never look cancer run in my family. Breast cancer run highly. I'm talking about all the women. I had a 17-year-old cousin had breast cancer when she was 17. This shit is running in our family. And therefore, I knew it. I've been taking these tests year after year after year after year after year. And I stopped when COVID, right? I had to take a breast exam twice a year because I was so high. And I didn't know there's a gene behind it, which I think I was on a friend texted, but I was too tired and too mentally fucked up to deal with it. But I think there is a gene that they say is behind it because we know it runs in the family. And I never smoked anything. I don't drink. I haven't been around people who smoke. You know what I mean? Like I, I'm doing things. So how in the hell it got to be genetics, right? It got to be genetics, or it could be environmental too. Okay, um, but I ain't smoke shit because these goddamn medical issues coming on. God damn. Anyway, y'all, yeah, they found it. Um, so hopefully it's soon where they could do something. But if not, I guess I'll be in some extensive chemo. Now, at one time in my life, I was like, look, I'm not gonna let my family watch me go through all this shit and and then just for me to be real sick and they gotta take care of me like I'm a baby, an infant. So remember, I think I told y'all they found this a couple of years ago. But I kept missing the appointment to go back. So this appointment was supposed to be for a test that they didn't do because they said my last test was over 18 months. So that's why I got to go back. Anyway, at one point I was thinking, look, I'm not going through that. I'm not putting my family through that. I'm gonna just ride it out and go sleepily into the deep night of sleep. At night, I'm gonna walk in the woods. I'm gonna say bye to the family. I'm gonna walk in the woods and just be gone, right? Um, but now I got my grandson, and I keep thinking he is worth me fighting. He's worth me fighting. Yeah, he's worth me fighting to stay to be here longer for him. Because see that, and that's what family does to you. Because to be honest, a lot of us people like shit. If I'm gone tomorrow, I'm gone. You know what I mean? Um, you be thinking you ain't. What is there here to fight for? You know what I mean? Like if you don't have no family and shit like that, what is there here? What's the reason for being here? Just for me to be a slave to the society of working every day, barely making it, not even enjoying it because all I do is work, 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 right? Work, 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 work. And you realize, shit, if, like, what am I lose? When you got a family, though, you don't. I'm not thinking about me losing them. I'm thinking about them losing me at such a young age. And I want to be able to watch them grow. I want to be able to go to Ricky's graduation when he graduate from high school. I was there for his kindergarten graduation, and I got the little videos, clips to show it. You know what I mean? And every year that he graduate, I want to be there, and I didn't want to see my great grandkids. I think that'd be wonderful. But I also want him to hold off having kids for as long as possible. That was the the problem with me and my sons. I was ready to be grandparents. They wasn't ready to be fathers. So I never pushed them. I never mentioned it to them. None of that. When it naturally happened, even my son was scared to tell me because he had no idea how excited I would be. Okay. He didn't have no idea how excited I would be. Um, that's called family, loving family. And yes, I wasn't pushed to love family. Like I just love children. I would adopt if I had a husband who was willing to do that. Um, yeah, my husband not willing to do that. If my kids would have left though the home, there would be other kids here. I would look, hubby be against it, but he don't control me. Okay, he don't control me. He does highly. Um, he does kind of do a little controlling. Okay, but I know how to convince him, pull down some of his guards, and be like, hey, I'm gonna be a foster parent. And then I start telling him, look, these kids need somewhere to go. Somebody gonna love them. And tell him how great of a father he is, and I'm gonna do most work. And hubby gonna give in, okay? Because I'm gonna put on my candy striper lingerie, okay? We're gonna take out the sex swing that in the closet. We're gonna hook it up to the ceiling. And then the next day, when he wake up, he gonna be agreeing to me being a foster parent. That's just what it's gonna be, okay? Let me put the link in, y'all. I think I expressed what I wanted. My cousin gave me some information, and I didn't know how to, like, I didn't have nobody to express it to, like, my head was hurting, my stomach's been turned ever since, and if I can dig Alfred ass up, murder him, and put him back in that motherfucking grave, I would. Okay, um, but I'm quite sure he's in hell, right? Um, stuck in some animal where he probably gonna go through a whole cycle of being reincarnated in animals that doesn't uh live very long. You know what I'm saying? And they get stepped on and squashed, eaten by other animals, things like that. He gonna go through a whole long life of all that turmoil, and then he'll possibly in a few centuries pop up back on Earth as a human being. All right. And for those of us who are a little more kinder, have humanity, empathy, sympathy, and things like that, when we reincarnated, we may come back right away as another person. And you could tell these little kids when they babies, they be knowing a lot of things. They just can't communicate yet. They can't get the words to come out. They be up there. They be talking, they be trying to tell you who they are in their past life. They be wanting to ask you questions. We just don't understand what they say because they and you could tell. Like I used to look at my grandson and be like, "What is he trying to tell me?" I could tell in his eyes, he's looking at me like wondering, "Where am I? Who am I? What's going on?" You know what I mean? Wanting to give me information. Still today, I be asking him because he's so smart. He be saying things. This boy, did y'all hear the story about the little black boy? The mother thought he was what they call it when they don't speak. It's called something when they're not speaking, when they're a certain age and they don't talk. You know what I mean? And I forget what the term is. But anyway, she was in She was in an Uber ride with her son. I think the son was like 3 years old and nonverbal. I think that's the term, nonverbal. So her son is nonverbal, 3 years old, and she got in the Uber, and there was an African driving the Uber, and the 3 year old talking, but nothing she understands. You know what I mean? And the Uber driver says, "Are y'all um from Kenya or something like that, right?" Uh, And she's like, "No, I'm American, African American." And he says, "Your son is talking in uh some language." And she said, "No, he's nonverbal." He said, "Nah, he's talking to me now." So he's laughing because the son is talking to him in another language. And he starts talking back to the son in that language. They having a whole conversation and and shit. The whole language the son never even heard, at least as far as the mother know. And see, that's the thing. Remember, I told y'all when Lincoln was like 2, 3 years old, he was writing in Russian. He was giving me alphabets in Russian language. And I was like, because I was teaching him, I was teaching him, we're going through the alphabet. But then he started, I would think that he was joking with me because he would start saying it in other terms, in other words. I was like, Leaky, we doing the alphabet. And one day I look on the iPad that was, his educational tools as well. And I was like, oh my God, look, he's writing these alphabets in Russian. And he's speaking Russian. Okay. Kids, they pick up everything. And that's why we should put it in front of them. Put the different languages in front of them. But, and the video games, certain video games could be good if it's teaching them patterns, if it's teaching them, how to process things, the processes of how you get from A to C, when B is not in alignment, right? All of this ends up being mathematical equations later on in life. They could grasp this shit on very early, very early. So people be like, don't give your kid the iPad. No, give it to them, but just make sure that what they're getting, you pay attention to that because YouTube set my grandson up. I don't know how in the hell I went from alphabets, English alphabet, to now they're showing things in Russian. I was At first I was mad about that. I'm like, if they trying to set my grandson up to, be look like he's stupid or something, because you know, or it could be the opposite. Maybe they put that Russian there to educate him, but it was all educational material. It was the alphabet uh, and things like that. Okay, at first I was mad at YouTube. I think I told you, I said, I don't know what the hell going on with YouTube. Have my grandson up here, learning Russian. But I look at it from a different point of view now. Okay. Um, anyway, let me grab this link. I rambled enough. I had to get that off my chest. What happened with my cousin? Okay, the things I didn't know. Um, there's a lot that people go through when we're kids, and we don't open up about it until we become of age where we can deal with it, right? Um, so there were some things he told me that I just never knew. Um, if you would have heard me a few years back, maybe about 10 years ago, man, I'd be talking about the family, not like we're perfect, but like we a great family, we great. That was the ones here and there that did that. But I was like, yeah, we're a family of families and shit like that. And today, they got some motherfuckers I wish I could dig their asses up and ask them why. Men want women to be subjugated to them. And that gets them nowhere. They don't get nowhere. My uncle worked for people who possibly, most definitely, was mistreating him, so he could come home and take all that frustration out on his wife. But he could have gotten him a boxing bag instead of using her a punching bag, instead of using her as a punching bag. You know, he using that anger out on her, and she loved him even when she didn't love him. There was not much she could do, right? Wasn't much she could do. The police would be called. She wasn't even calling the police. The neighbors was calling the police. You know, if somebody knocking your head between the washer and dryer loud enough for the neighbors to hear it, you know you must be getting knocked crazy. It must be crazy. The motherfucker people was calling up the police on his ass, and the police let them watch them come and do nothing except talk to her and tell her she need to behave. Uh, Tell her she got to get her shit together. There's nothing we could do. The men want us to go back there, ladies. And for you mammy ass motherfucker women who don't know the history, but you willing to side with see, because I'm not here to tell you what to believe. If your dumb ass can't see what it is, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Your eyes, you see with your own eyes and you don't see it, then you blind, bitch. And I don't know. I can't speak to you in sign language. You're not listening to nobody when we communicate through voice, right? Through communication of sound, you're not listening and you don't care about what you see visually. So I can't sign language to you. So, I mean, we just got to call them stupid hoes, okay? And ladies, we got to separate from them. We got to separate. They usually end up coming running back, but it might be too. You scared me. Oh my God. Mama. That's that PTSD, y'all. I told y'all. Oh, Lord. You okay? Oh, Lord, he scared the shit out.
Are you almost done talking?
Am I almost done talking?
Yeah.
Let me put the link out, and if somebody come up and start talking, then I'm gonna spend time with you. Okay, that's what you want. You want mom to spend time with you?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 You. Why you want to spend time with me?
Because you're the best.
Because I'm the best.
Uh-huh.
You the best. I'm not the best. You the best.
Well, you're the sounds too.
I'll make the sound too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put the link in. In case hey everybody, how y'all doing since 7 was going up? It's Wacky Wednesday, y'all. My grandson want yeah, just I she has a lump but not diagnosed yet. Yes, it hasn't been diagnosed yet. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? It takes a little bit, you know, they diagnose, they go in, they do some what is called I forget what it's called. They go in and take a little sample of it and see if it's malignant or non-malignant and all that. So I haven't done all that. Yeah, the biopsy. Thank you, thank you. So we're gonna go through all that and then we'll know what's going on. But it does run through the family. Hey, Black Beauty. It runs through the family. Like I said, ever since I was young, I've been getting tested twice a year until COVID come. You know, and that's when Leaky is he love his grandma, but he about to I told y'all Sunday that boy I played with him for hours. He woke me up by shooting me. Came in here talking about pop, 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 and I had to fake like I was getting shot. Die for a minute. And we had fun Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
You killed me 7 times. What you did? You stabbed me, huh?
Yeah, like 5 times.
You stabbed me 5 times?
Yeah, I did.
And then you poisoned your grandfather, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
I love playing things.
He said he loved playing those scenes. Yeah, y'all had to
Yeah, okay. Can you make my Sparky sound?
Sparky sound. Well, I don't know how Sparky sound, but I thought you were gonna do like the cars.
Well, Sparky sounds like this.
That's what Sparky sound like?
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Orange.
Go. Well, I don't like the Sparky sound. Kim, Nikki, what you doing, Nikki?
What?
I don't want to do Sparky sound. I'd rather do the car sound. Well, Mama gotta take medicine because you about to make my head go bam, 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 and then I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna shoot you like that, and then what you gonna do me?
I'm going to do this.
You gonna do this? You gonna come in, you gonna scratch me up and shoot me back.
Now, so I'm going to give you with this grenade.
Oh no, you about to blow me up with the grenade. Oh, oh. Mom, I'm dead. You blew me up.
Okay, you ready?
Yo, I can't.
You want to play?
Blinky, wait. Listen, y'all. I'm gonna be back, okay? I'm gonna go play with him. Y'all, I'm so sorry,
ready.
y'all. Huh?
I'm ready.
You ready? Wait a minute. You gotta give me a second. Let me end this, okay? I promise. Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. That's my grandson, you know. Okay, so I got to go play with him. Cause he's not gonna be here all night. He come so since school start, he's here every weekend. We got him the whole weekend, Friday all the way till Sunday, and then he comes Wednesday, but he don't spend the night. Okay, he gonna go back home because she gets him ready for school. Make sure you know that's their deal. But you know, I gotta go be with him because I'm so used to having him every 2 days. Okay, and since he was born, and now I don't get to see him every 2 days like that. So I'm going to be with my grandson. I will be back though. Okay, I'll be back. If anybody go live, y'all send me a link. I think they have. It should be Women's Night over there by it's Women's Night Wednesday or Thursday by DJ Witch Doctor. And I ain't gonna lie, the Sharon thing with that group of people, I ain't feeling that group of people. So I don't really I don't really I go and say hi to Sharon, but I don't fuck with dentures and I don't oops, my grandson right here, I'm sorry. I don't mess the word was mess with. I don't deal with dentures. Uh Mainly because the way he disrespects Sharon. Like he don't even like him. I don't know why Sharon would even really deal with him, right? It's like anyway, and I'm okay with DJ Witch Doctor. I guess them two they don't seem to vibe right. Seem like some of these men got a hatred towards Sharon that's just undeniable. I'm almost done, baby. Okay, y'all. I'm talking. I'm rambling. Just like my grandson. He must get it from me. I'll see y'all later. Bye bye. If anybody go live though, and it's a great conversation, I don't care who it is. Sister G, anybody listen, anybody. I'm desperate.
Okay, so Mama, we're not going to break the rules, okay?
We're not gonna break the rules. What
No.
the rules gonna be?
First, no, no, no poking body in the eye.
No poking nobody in the eye. Okay.
Next, nobody picking up if you're only strong.
Nobody picking up if you're strong. So you mean I can't pick you up because you can't pick me up? Can I pick you up?
Yes, you can, but you can.
I can.
No, you can't.
I can't pick you up.
No, because your back hurts.
My back hurts. Hey, I need you to put that down. I want you to stab yourself accidentally in the eye. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to take out your eye, baby. That's all. Now what else? What other rules we got?
And the other rules.
Come sit over here and tell so they can hear you. Tell me what the rules are.
And the rules is
Come sit on my lap.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that your sewing leg?
Yeah.
And also no spilling water.
No spilling water. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you something. Tell the people what big butt mean in Spanish. What's the word is? Big yacht. Yacht. What's the word is?
Giat.
Giat. He came home last week and told me, he said, Mom, you got a big giat. And I said, what's a giat? And he said, big butt. so, so I've been telling him he got a small yacht. Yeah, yacht. And I told him I must spank his yacht. Did I say that, Nikki? Now he over there acting like he's twerking. His yacht. These little boys, y'all. Little boys are something else. Yacht. Is it yacht?
No, it's Giat.
Giat. He said it's Giat. He be teaching me Spanish. Okay. Um, I don't be remembering, though. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. His school, half the day is English, and the other half of the day they teach only in Spanish. So I think that's a great idea. If you because my sons took Spanish in high school when it went by the time they need those languages, and they didn't pick it up like that.
Can we fight now?
Yeah, we could fight. Okay, y'all. He want to fight. I don't know why he don't fight Pop Pop, but Pop Pop just got home from work. So that might be why he don't fight Pop Pop. So I'm not gonna send him down to fight Pop Pop. Okay, Pop Pop, if you're listening, I'm not sending him down there yet. Okay. And he just got home from work. If he's home, Pop Pop home, man.
Yeah.
Pop Pop is home.
Yeah.
He ain't even come upstairs yet. Yeah, I'll be back because I do have to sew this thing because I want him to wear it to work tomorrow. I'll be back later. If y'all got a topic, send it to me. Try not to do political, okay? Because it's getting on my nerves. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Make sure y'all support the channel. Cash App Bomb Cherry Juice, baby. Send me 99 cents, 1.99, 2.99, 3.99. What's next, Nikki? 4.99, 5.99, 6.99, 7.99, 8.99, 10.99. Come on, you next. What's after 10.99?
10.99.
11.99, 12.99.
Okay, let's just fight.
Oh, he just want to fight. Okay. I try to make everything educational. Even our fighting gonna be mathematical, y'all.